What up, Dokkaners? In just about 2 days, Golden Frieza will be getting his Extreme Z Awakening. So in this video, we will be discussing the event, how the unit is built in terms of recommended hit potentials, and we're going to be getting over 30 Dragonstones. So this is going to be worth your time. Even if you don't use the unit, which some people probably won't, it is still worth preparing for. And this one in particular is going to be a little bit tough for some people because the category that is needed is kind of dewy. So with that said, let's jump in and take a look at what the Emperor really does. The Golden Frieza EZA Emperor's True Splendor. Resurrected Warriors key +3 170%. Key +3 120 for INT. If you're wondering why the game or the screen is off center, it's because we will be doing some team building, and this is going to be a very important one for some of you guys, so definitely pay attention. For the super attack, so one thing I'm happy about is that they did address the main weakness. This unit's initial build really just doesn't do much in terms of defense plus 50%, which means he's got tissue paper defense. With the super attack, greatly raises defense for 1 turn, causes immense damage, and greatly lowers defense. Okay, there's promise, Now for the passive, attack plus 250, defense plus 150. So definitely they improved both offensively a little bit more. All enemies attack minus 15%. So there's a nerfing agent across the board, and then an extra dose of it when you're facing superclass enemies and allies. So there, the Golden Frieza treachery continues where you nerf your own allies by 7%. So if you're running this guy with a super team, aka Universe 7, you're going to have to take a little bit of an attack cut there. Plus an additional attack and defense plus 100 when facing a superclass enemy. Attacks effective against all types when there's another Universe 7 ally attacking in the same turn. So in terms of the overall passive, it just doesn't compare to some of the ones that we see these days. Also, I just hate the fact that you have to, like, the one team that this unit can really thrive with for the full passive, you end up nerfing the majority of the units there, right? Universe 7. So in terms of the overall EZA landscape, I wouldn't say this is one of the best ones. It's fairly mediocre, but still, it is a serviceable unit nonetheless. So this guy will be finally awakening in just a couple of days. So make sure you guys are ready for it. And to do that, you are going to need a very interesting team, a Defenders of Justice team. That is the category weakness. Defenders of Justice. Have you seen this category? Yeah, it's the one with Videl. It's the one with Jocko. Granted, you do have some free-to-plays here. But yeah, in terms of leads, this is not going to be a fun one for some of you guys. And more specifically, not even just your team assembly, it's the friend system. The friend system is probably going to make this an abysmal experience. So that is going to be fun. But before we move on, let me just say, in terms of hidden potential builds, how would you build this unit? My personal recommendation would just be going for maximum additional. Boosting that defense multiple times on a turn can make this unit a little bit more tanky. Plus, its optimal battleground would be something like Super Battle Road, where you're facing, multiple enemies where you can nerf everybody. Raising your defense will make this unit a little bit more consistent in terms of survivability. So other than that, I don't really see much use on the Universe 7 team. It's so stacked already. Why would you bring a Golden Frieza and nerf some of your own units? So that's my recommendation. If you have different thoughts, feel free to share in the comments down below. In terms of synergy, shout out to Dokkan API. Looking at the Golden Frieza, the best link buddy is the SSR free-to-play. Other than that, you've got the other Golden Friezas like the tank. So this is going to be a nice slot 1 for like a Wicked Bloodline team. But if you are running a Wicked Bloodline team, then you're most definitely not, utilizing the full effect of his passive. So you could lead with a slot 1 Golden Frieza tank. You got some other units here. It's all Friezas. Like, you scroll down to 3 links in common, then you get to the Universe 7 allies. Royal Blue, Blue Vegeta. We got Bergamo from Universe Travel Saga. Caulifla. What kind of links do they have in common? Was like Fierce Battle. Yeah, Fierce Battle, Tournament of Power, Prodigies, of course, Prodigies. So yeah, I mean, this unit is just not, this unit doesn't work really on the team that it's supposed to be on. So yeah, just go for hidden maximum additional, and that's about it. So now let's go to the event details. Standard event progression, 30 stages, which means 30 Dragonstones. Defenders of Justice, woohoo! And you're going to be able to earn an extra 4 Dragonstones from the various missions. So 34 Dragonstones will be yours. And as you saw as we were scrolling down here, gains an additional damage reduction of 80% against Tech and Extreme. Now, this should be a given. If you're going to be using the Defenders of Justice category, then Extreme just doesn't exist. There is no Extreme unit on Defenders of Justice because by definition, that does not make sense. So this, unless, I mean, is an anti-hero Defender of Justice? No, right? They have their own agenda. So that wouldn't work. So yeah, don't bring Tech, don't bring Extreme if you're trying to do extra damage. In terms of categories and tank ability, if you bring a Tech unit, you will be fine as long as they're Defenders of Justice. Like, for example, Tech Ultimate Gohan, he's got full guard. He's the right category. He'll be just fine. In terms of damage, maybe not so much. So now that we have established what the weakness is and what we have to look out for, let's jump into the team building. team building aspect of this event. So let me bust out my Dokkan game here. And let's start with the obvious. Since Videl is the lead, you could start with a Videl team and, you know, just throw on anybody that you want. As long as you have one Gohan or Saiyaman on the team, they don't even have to be on the same rotation. They just have to be on the team. You can get Videl's Link super attack, which will allow her to greatly raise attack, which can make your offense a little bit more aggressive and give you a faster finish on the Golden Frieza EZA fight. So just bring in Tech Ultimate Gohan and then just throw on anybody else, like whatever you got. You want to bring in Dispo, you want to bring in the heroes characters, whatever you want, throw them on, and, you know, just bring in more type advantages if you can. There's some nice supports in this category, like Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, all types or all allies 35% support. You've got a nice defensive support thanks to the LR Saiyaman 1 and 2, which recently I found out has not been, the easy area for this event has not come back since it first released, which is very surprising. But even if you don't have the EZA, let's just look at the unit without the full EZA, you still get the key +4 and you nerf the enemy's defense. The enemy's defense being nerfed won't factor so much, but it's the key +4 that we care about. So yeah, you still have some nice support on the physical side. You got the Android 17, a lot of good units. So just throw them all together, you got your team. Another team you could run could be a Gamma-led team, because Gamma, both Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 are on this category. So just throw on the Gammas together and make yourselves a movie heroes team. So let's just do that real quick. This is gonna be an extended segment, because since this category is so obscure, I think some people are going to struggle. So I'm gonna try to give as many options as I can within reason, and then you guys, you know, hopefully this can help you guys out. So Gamma 1, Gamma 2, throw them on, and then if you just do a cross section of Dragon Ball Hero or movie heroes and Defenders of Justice, you're basically left with this: a bunch of Gohans, Videls, and Jaco. So if you've got some of these free to plays, throw them on. So the LR Saiyaman is going to be a great option free to play. This Videl is currently available from the story events that are active in this campaign. This is the list of current story events available. You've got the Videl that is available on this story event right here, the Broly one. You've also got another Defenders of Justice character here in Wrath of the Dragon, the INT Saiyaman, who is a nice super class support, given that he's a level 100 unit. Still, he will be useful. So Videl is a great one. She gives you a great chance for a 30% support to all allies. So she's good. Throw her on there. Special pose. This is a special pose support, which does work. This is also one of those units that I've recommended on the special pose category mission against Cell Max. This unit has a high chance to dodge. So this is kind of like a very, very toned down simulation of the Cell Max event. Think about it that way. And I don't know, just throw anybody else on here. So yeah, this is the unit from the Wrath of the Dragon event. Throw that one on. There you go. There's your Gamma 1, Gamma 2 team. Honestly, the Gammas will be doing most of the work. Everybody else is just there for the ride. Might as well bring them there to support and provide extra ki, right? Because in the off chance that the Gammas aren't on the same rotation, you're missing out on that massive linkage. You can have all that extra support to make your units more complete. So Gammas work. Let's go to Dragon Ball Heroes. Dragon Ball Heroes is a great option for this. If you guys are Dragon Ball Heroes fans, then you should have no problem putting your teams together for this event. You could either bring the Vegito or the L'Oreal Trunks as your lead. You could also try other units. Granted, their leader skills are much worse, like Supreme Kai 100% support or leader skills, so not really the greatest. But honestly, just bring on Super Saiyan 4 Vegito, bring in a whole bunch of Dragon Ball Heroes characters, type advantage. Super Saiyan 3 Xeno Goku has the guard and the damage reduction, and you'll be fine. There's really not much team building needed for a Dragon Ball Heroes team. The main prerequisite is having them. So if you guys summon on Dragon Ball Heroes characters, you should already have this, no problem. So this is not going to be much of an issue for you guys. So I'm not going to spend too much time there. Moving on to Universe 11. This is going to be a tough one because, again, it's not just about having the category. You got to really go, you got to go hardcore on the category if you want to have it. And you got to pray that you have friends that also have this category. Now, the good news is that if you were to put together a Universe 11 team, you could still have a friend unit be a Universe Survival Saga lead. So like, if you got Blue Kaioken Goku as the friend lead, that works. You just got to keep the Blue Kaioken Goku out of harm's way because they might take a little bit more extra damage. But if you run Jiren as your lead, either the STR or the Tech one, either one works. They can both run together. One is full power. You put them together. You have to have both of the free-to-play casseroles. Casserole TUR is Pride Troopers. Regular casserole is just him. So you throw them on. You got the Lightspeed Dispo. You've also got the INT Hopo, which, by the way, his TUR and SSR are labeled differently, just like the Dispo. Dispo's super Lightspeed and regular Dispo. So if you are missing, or if you need an extra slot, you're going to have those extra SSRs. So it's kind of a little bit tough for this category in particular, but if you have them, you can run this team. Granted, your friend has some sort of a Universe Survival Saga leader skill. So there is your Universe 11. But I think the most easy category you can put together is going to be Hybrid Saiyans, both in terms of your own abilities to have these units and also practicality. Friend units are most likely going to have a Tech Ultimate Gohan. This unit has been around so many times, and it's just simply one of the better units, an all-around Renaissance unit, if you will. It works in basically every way. Just bring a hybrid Defenders of Justice team. Yeah, the Gohan has type disadvantage, so in terms of damage output, it might be a little bit slower, but honestly, this might be your best bet to get through some of the final few stages if you just can't find any other friend leads. So if you bring Ultimate Gohan, look at all of these different Gohans we have to offer. Just check this out. We got Ultimate Gohan right here. No, Gohan Teen. Then we've got Super Saiyan 2 Gohan Teen. Boom. Then we've got Super Saiyan Gohan Teen. Boom. Then we've got Great Saiyaman Super Saiyan 2. We've got Great Saiyaman Super Saiyan. We've got Great Saiyaman regular Karaoke Gohan. You could bring him. He's a summonable unit, or you could bring the free-to-play option. You could throw on a Dragon Ball Heroes character if you have it. You could bring on Mini Saiyaman if you want. There's so many different Gohans and other Hybrid Saiyans in here that this should be easy to put together. Hopefully, most of you guys have enough Hybrid Saiyans to do this. If you don't, though, you might have to, dip down to some of the lower tier characters like Xeno Trunks, or perhaps if you have to, you could go as far as I don't know, maybe like the level 100 characters, or even the Baba Shop Great Saiyaman. He's not going to do much damage, but he'll fill out the roster. So Hybrid Saiyans, I think, would be your best bet in terms of practicality. Moving on, we just got a couple of more ones here. We got androids. So for androids, there's actually a pretty cool little hack here you could do. Bring in the Android 17 as your lead if you want to do that, or you could actually run, let's see. You could run Gamma as your lead, but the thing is, this strat doesn't work unless Android 17 is lead. So if we do this, bring in both Gammas, then we switch to Super Physical on the Defenders of Justice, you can bring in a bunch of supports. So these guys are obviously not going to be providing as much damage, but they will be providing even more support to the main damage dealers, which would be the Android 17, Gamma 1, and Gamma those. So bring in Saiyaman 1 and 2, Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, and if you want to bring in somebody, you could bring in Vegito. He might not do as much damage because he's only getting, what, like 70%, 90%? So he's not going to be as effective, but still, he could be serviceable. Or you could bring in the Gohan, or the Goku for the Goku's family support so he can help this guy out a little bit. It's up to you. So there's another idea. And for the final team that I have to suggest, you could go free to play. Now, this is obviously going to be really, really slow because free-to-play Defenders of Justice, there's like no damage going out. There's no leader skill, really. So this is going to take a long time on some of those final fights. But if you want to do this, you could do LR Saiyaman as your lead. You get a full 130% leader skill if every single type is included. So we got to bring all the other types. Okay, so AGL, check. Tech, check. INT, check. STR, check. And we got it. And then we can just bring on anybody else. We'll bring in this guy because he's got damage reduction. So in terms of damage dealers, it's obviously going to be LR Saiyaman doing most of the work. But this unit is actually surprisingly effective. If you put an emphasis on critical, the ability to gain more attack over 9 turns and launch multiple supers on any given turn, you could get some nice damage out of this Videl and Gohan unit. Granted, it is on a very weak free-to-play team. So in terms of how much damage you're going to get, maybe not a whole lot. But like I said, you're in it for the long haul if you're bringing a free-to-play team. So there you have it, folks. I know I've rambled a lot, but I wanted to give you guys some extra team combination ideas. So hopefully you guys can put something together. You still have a couple of days, and this is also going to help you because if you don't have enough units to build out a Defenders of Justice team, you could take some time, go to some of the events that are available currently in this campaign on the story event section, or if you have some of those keys, you could go and tap into the Portal of Memories and go get some of those units from those events as well. Of course, those are free to play, so good luck with that, and hopefully you guys are going to be prepared for the Golden Frieza EZA. Look, the unit may not be the best, we may not be the biggest fans of the unit, but it's about the stones after all. We want them stones, don't we? Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like down below. Let me know in the comments, what team do you have put together for this event? And if you don't have enough units, which event are you going to be farming out to get the rest of your Defenders of Justice category characters? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more dope content in the future and click the notification bell so that you let YouTube know you want to see more of my stuff. Do it! Thanks again. Stay tuned and remember to Dokkan responsibly.